Hello fellow viewers and Merry Christmas! Today, I will be reviewing the Revell 2022 Chevrolet Corvette C8 Z51 and 1/25th scale. This kit was tooled in 2024, making this a brand new release and the most recent kit I built based on the release time. Let's take a look at the box. On the front, we have some nice artwork of the car in a brilliant blue color scheme, and turning over to the sides, we get some pictures of the actual car model, showing the interior, engine, and other details of the car. Flipping over to the other side, it says that the model contains 142 parts, builds up to 18.7 centimeters, or 7 3/8 of an inch for you American viewers, and is molded in white and clear plastic with rubber tires. Now let's take a look inside the box. Opening up this box, we see that the clear parts are in two sprues, with the first clear tree holding the windshield, side glass, headlights, and taillights, and the other with the rear glass and some unknown pieces. Also, we have 4 fresh rubber tires, modern and low profile. They should be easy to remove from the trees. Now we move on to the white plastic. Taking a look at the white plastic, the first bag I picked up holds some body parts, like the engine cover, targa top, spoiler, and seats. All parts here are molded cleanly without flash, which is expected for a modern kit. Now looking at the body, it is really nice and crisp, with the complex edges molded perfectly. Molding lines are not easily visible, and there are positive locating mounts to put your parts together and connect them properly. Also included in the body bag is a small sprite with small details that will be chromed later, like the backings for the headlights, taillights, and the reflective part of the side view mirrors. The rest of the plastic parts are in a single bag. The first bag has a mix of parts, with some of the pieces being for the engine, interior, and chassis, as well as the right-hand dashboard. The second tree here includes thinner parts like windshield wipers, exhaust headers, side view mirrors, and the wheel retainers that allow your car to roll. The third tree has engine parts, as well as the left-hand drive dashboard. The wheel rims are mounted onto a small tree of their own and are molded clearly open, with the rim holes being visible. The next tree has the engine halves, interior tub and sides, seat backs, and the rear fascia. The fifth tree includes some body moldings, the brake discs, center consoles for left and right-hand drive, and license plates. Finally, the last tree is dedicated to the chassis pan, as well as the wheel arches and a few other pieces. Finally, we'll be taking a look at the decal sheet. Over here, you can see many different dashboards and screen options, Corvette emblems, 2 sets of stripes, black and white, and so many different license plates. You got American, Canadian, European, and even Japanese ones. Also, there are duplicates of each label, so in case if you lose one, you can still remember to get other ones. Overall, this model has a lot of parts. I'm gonna get to start building it together, and I'll see you soon. After 90 minutes of gluing time, here's what I've come to in the sub-assembly section. Most of the parts you see here will be painted either black or silver, but they can't be like assembled into a bigger sub-assembly because you have like attached the differently colored parts to each other, which you'll find kind of tedious. While it goes together very perfectly with easy locating mounts and basically snapping together, it's also kind of problematic for painting though, because you basically have to like do a lot of assembly after painting. Let's go take a look at some of the parts. First of all, here is the engine block. All the parts I glued together will be painted like silver or aluminum, which is why I glued them all together to make assembly much better. Over here on this sprue, we got some of the support struts, license plate, lower grille, disc brakes, and side moldings. I will cut off the disc brakes and like the struts and paint the rest black. Here are the seats and the spoiler, which I mentioned earlier. All I did was glue the seat backs to the seats. This sprue will be painted black, and I might do some blue detail painting on the seats and other interior parts. This little piece is just the engine cover. No work needed, just painted black. Some sprues, like this one, were painted aluminum in preparation for being shiny. This will be left alone until final assemblies. Over here are the wheels, which I painted gloss aluminum and attached the tires to. These need no work as well. Over here, we've got the wheel arches and like the chassis floor plan. All these parts will be painted black, except for the wheel hubs and brake disc for like the rear wheels. Here's like sprue number C, which holds many miscellaneous parts that will be painted black, with the exception of like the steerable wheel hubs here, and the rotators won't be painted at all. This particular sprue contains like the left side dashboard and a few other details that will mostly be painted black, except for the cylinder heads, which will be painted red. This sprue here, again, is kind of discategorized and has parts that will be painted black and silver, like body moldings, engine parts, and the right-hand side dashboard, which will not be used. Finally, let's take a look at some of the body parts. I painted these body parts in advance, but the production was kind of troubled because there was a problem with the left side of the paint. Eventually, after a bunch of stripping with gasoline and sanding, I got the paint up to look like this. It will be polished and cleaned up in the future. Meanwhile, the tailgate and the rear fascia are all done pretty well. Well, that's it for this section. Let me get to some painting, and I'll see you soon.
Everybody, there.
The final assembly is now completed, and now let's take a look at the final thoughts of this model. Overall, the Revell 2022 Corvette C8 Z51 is a very enjoyable model to build thanks to its modern engineering, and everything fits well. However, the decals can be kind of annoying for newer time builders, so I would recommend like either leaving the decals off or building a couple more kits before attempting this one. Otherwise, this is a very well engineered Revell Germany kit. Let's take a look at it in detail. The body was painted with Krylon True Blue spray paint, and this therefore created a very glossy shine on the body. Krylon paints when compared to Rust-Oleum ones are quite fragile, so I have to be careful when handling it. The paint job you see here gave me a bit of a trouble so I had to paint it several times in order to get a decent looking shade. Here is a closer look at the front. As you can see, the license plate is an Ontario one, and therefore included like Canadian, American, British, Japanese, and Australian plates, which I find very useful depending on where you live. This side looks the best, and was the only one that remained of the original paint job. Therefore, which is why it remained intact. Here is a closer look at the back. Here is a closer look at the top. You can remove this tonneau cover to take a closer look at the interior. Center console was painted black with a red center, like the rest of the model. And here's a closer look at the interior on the other side. Overall, this is a very good model. This has been Noah Dane here with his model kit reviews, and I'll see you next time. But for now, have a photo.